Hello again, friends. It is me, Snoot City here. Captain Snoot City here. Terribly sorry. Alright, let's go. Let's have a good flight. Today, we have quite the agenda. Our plans for the day involve, well, finding KAWG. Here it is. KAWG Municipal. We've been playing around with flying different crafts. And what happened last was our Piper got repossessed for repairs. Our Piper with the tail number Golf Tango Tango is currently in Cedar Rapids. We've been gifted and given a Cessna 172. And we used that to fly home last night. So we're going to go ahead and return that 172 up to Iowa City. Let's see if we can find it in the hangar. There it is, the Skyhawk, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. We're going to go ahead and take off all the way back here at the end of the ramp. Fly now. Originally, we were planning for a 10 p.m. departure, and I suppose that might be a possibility. But as it's looking, we're already running a tad late tonight. And as this is a borrowed craft, of course, we want to make sure we do things right. So, let's go ahead and run the check real quick. Test everything. The 172, you don't move the rudder, you simply look at it. The ailerons do move. Those flaps sure are flaps. We'll go down here, get the chocks and the tires. The struts as well. Very important. We had a previous mishap with an engine cover, so we will never again forget these either, as well as the pitot heating. Nose gear tire. Nose struts. So, yeah, mainly we have to get this 172 back to Cedar Rapids, I believe is who we borrowed it from. Well, the plan remains, we're taking this bad boy up to Iowa City tonight. It's looking good. Good enough to get in the plane. So, let's go ahead and face the daunting task of booting this baby up. Start by switching the fuel selector. Fuel valves looking good. Parking brake, of course, we have bad issues with the parking brake. Has to be set. With the parking brake set. Overall trim looking good. We can go ahead and give it some mixture. Little bit of throttle, not too much. And we'll start by booting up the avionics. Go up here to the master battery standby switch and place it on arm. So for the second Garmin screen, you just go ahead right here in the corner, pop it on up. Looking good. How's our avionics looking? oil pressure issue, vacuum pressure issue. Here's hoping. So let's go ahead and get our lights. I want taxi lights, nav lights, strobe lights, and beacons. There we go. Brightness. Do we need to adjust any of the brightness in here? It's looking decent enough for night flight. After all, it is what? About 10 p.m. local time coming up. 9:55. I believe it is time to go ahead and attempt to get this engine up and going. Let's see what's in front of us. We can do it. We can go ahead and boot the magnetos. I'm not too worried about that there. Go ahead and restore the visibility of the yoke over here. Add a little bit of realism. Of course, we need to see over the yoke to get to the magnetos. Fantastic. Sounds like we're able to get it going. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS. We'll tune to the automated weather.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf automated weather observation. 0300 Zulu. Wind 0215. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2000. Few clouds at 5000. Temperature 0C. Dew point 1C. Altimeter 3025. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf automated weather observation. 0300 Zulu.
So, it appears to be freezing.
Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2000. Few clouds at 5000. Temperature 0C.
Altimeter, we definitely have to adjust that.
Altimeter 3025.
3025.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf automated weather observation. 0300 Zulu. Wind 0215.
We'll go ahead and tune on over to traffic now. So, because the wind is coming out of 021, we want to select a runway. Conducive to that. So let's zoom in and see what we're working with here. 031. Let's go ahead and request runway 31. It's a good runway. We're going to go ahead and announce our taxiing to that runway, specified runway.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic.
We have the
Kilo
ATIS.
Hotel
We are ready to
939
go.
is taxiing to runway 31. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
So, we actually have no tower here. Because we're just a little podunk place. So, we'll go ahead. We're cleared to go. Again, our goal is to take this puppy back up to Iowa City Municipal, where we'll do a handoff. We'll be returning tonight in a Cessna that was taken up to Cedar Rapids earlier by my brother. Getting all sorts of lost here. So this is Iowa City right here. This is Cedar Rapids. So let's zoom on in and find Iowa City Municipal, KIOW. This is our destination. Let's add him to the flight plan as our arrival. Center back on our craft. This is going to be our departure. Hey, we now have a flight plan. Looking good. We'll leave our iPad there in the corner. With all that said and done, it is time to move to the runway. 10 p.m. It is certainly time. Let's go ahead and put the yoke back. Remove the parking brake. Just got to make sure I have the correct settings. Sometimes they like to switch back on me. Alright, let's do it. We'll remove the parking brake. And let's give it a little throttle. Of course, we are moseying our way slowly to runway 31. So let's slow it down. We need to keep it to a speed of, give or take, about 5 knots here with the craft. So we'll just ride the brake here just so we don't run into any problems. Look at that. There's a taxiway. If we can get past this freaking taxiway hog. So we'll just lean to the right. Slowly and surely, our wings are above him. We're good to go. We don't need fuel, no thanks. So that means pull back on the throttle. We'll calm it down. Alright, we're looking good. The runway's not really too lit up tonight, is it? But that's okay. Not the biggest problem. Let's adjust our rudders so that we don't stray from the yellow line here. And we're actually going to use this runway to taxi. We're going to taxi to the end of this runway, do a U-turn, and use it to take off. Our flight plan tonight will take us to Iowa City Municipal, where we'll be dropping this plane off and returning immediately in a Cessna. Tonight we'll be cruising at an altitude of about 3,000 feet. Look both ways here. Alright, we're looking good. Let's give it a little bit of throttle. We don't want to just sit here on the runway. Let's give it a little bit of throttle. There we go. We'll go ahead and cut that throttle now. Well, we can slow it down. We can slow our roll ever so slightly. Ooh. Slow our roll ever so slightly more, actually. And then lean quite heavily onto the brakes. Big man got a little too excited. Painful overshoot. But we got the green light. So now that we're aligned with the runway, let's go ahead and announce our departure. Aligned with the yellow, this will take us here is our announcement. Our plan is most likely going to take us a northern departure. Let's take a look at our compass. What direction are we facing currently? It is going to be a northern departure, so we'll depart to the north.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. Taking off runway Tree 1. Departure to the north. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Hey, sorry about the wait tonight, friends. Snoot Airlines thanks you once again for choosing us as your airline of choice. We have been cleared for takeoff, so I'm your captain, Captain Snoot. This is your co-captain, Captain Snoot. And this is where you sit. You sit in the back. Friends sit in the back. Thanks for riding. So, without further ado, let's get on out of here. Let's do it. Let's lean quite heavily onto the throttle now and begin our ascent. So we just need to manage our rudders here. We don't want to go too crazy with the throttle, but we do want to keep leaning on it. We're going to have rotation to give or take about 65 knots. So that means we want to point our nose up. Once we hit these lights, we'll go ahead and achieve positive rate by tipping our nose up even further. Let's go. We can judge our rate of climb by using this peripheral vision right here. So, we're going to maintain this heading.
Chicago Center. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is type Cessna Skyhawk. 1 mile southeast of Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf, 1000. Request flight following.
We got the AI doing the
Snoot
flight
Kilo
calls
Hotel
for this
Niner Tree
flight.
Niner, Chicago Center. Squawk 1026.
Let's see how it goes, shall we?
Squawk 1026. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner.
So now we're sitting
Snoot
at
Kilo
pattern
Hotel.
altitude
Roger,
of
Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner
1,800.
Tree Niner.
It actually looks like we're encountering a little bit of overcast skies tonight. Let's adjust our trim so that we're not gaining too much more. We'll reel back on our throttle. This plane, the Cessna 172, has a combined throttle, propeller throttle. So it is just the one throttle switch as well as the mixture to worry about. So we're nice and leveled off here at about 2,200 feet. Let's adjust our heading now. We're going sort of an eastward heading. We need to go more northerly. Take a glance over here. Pull up the EFB. We actually are quite off course. What is going on here? We need to adjust our heading rather drastically. We need to be maintaining a northern heading. How foolish of me. That was the plan originally, wasn't it? So we don't want to turn too crazy. We're maintaining altitude here. If anything, we're gaining altitude, which means we want to adjust trim. We're losing a little too much speed here. So let's level off at a northern disposition. Drop our trim and give it a little more throttle so we don't fall out of the sky. Our throttle should be sitting at about 89%. We're giving it quite a bit of throttle. Perhaps we're battling some headwinds. Of course, we need to really dip down on that trim now. We're starting to get carried away with the altitude. If we want to pick up some speed, we can lose some of this altitude as a trade. We'll go ahead and reel back that throttle. We want to be sitting at comfortably We're within comfortable RPMs, but 2,200, 2,100. We're going to dip our nose down manually with the yoke here. Let's see if we can level off again at about. We're getting blown off course here. There are no winds at all, but my inability to pay attention.
Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner contact approach on 119.7. Good day. Going to 119.7. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So we actually have the co-pilot doing the radio calls today. I was complaining about that earlier, actually, but in the end, we don't want it. So we're still gaining altitude here. Let's go ahead and cool our jets by adjusting the trim. Let's just drop it. Let's just drop it right now, right in front of our eyes. We'll drop this trim down to about 1.4. And we'll battle it out with the yoke to keep our nose up. We'll cut this throttle, because it looks like we're starting to really gain some speed doing this. So let's adjust our heading here. Looks like we're finally on track. We have the speed to maintain a nice 10-degree turn here. We should be on heading here. Let's go ahead and size up our knowledge of the local area. Give it a little throttle. Adjust the trim so that we're not quite nose up, but at least leveled out. Where's Washington, Iowa? That's the biggest thing. Looks like we can't see it behind us. That must be Washington behind us. Most certainly it is. There's the runway. That would mean that, rationally and logically, this coming up is Riverside. This here on the right must be the Highland School. So this up here must be Riverside, with Kelowna out to the left. So we still have quite a ways. It looks like we have still just departed Washington. Let's get our altitude under control. We don't need to be riding this high, this crazy. Drop that trim. Just want to click all these buttons because I don't know what any of them do. In fact, I much prefer the old gauges. But I'll get over my laziness soon and I'll buckle down, learn how to use one of these. Looks like we are maintaining our heading, so if we can look off into the distance, that should be Iowa City, either there or there. Again, let's drop that trim. Drop the trim. Gotta drop the trim. What's our throttle sitting at? 84%. We can go ahead and pull back, especially if we're losing a little bit of altitude. Drop the trim and nose down. We'll give it just a little more throttle. Sitting at about 2,400. I rather like that. It's a good place to sit. Hey, we're looking on track. How do things look outside? Well, they look rather dreary. Embarrassing, we left our landing lights on. Oh, we actually didn't have our takeoff lights on at all. Those are our taxi lights, even more embarrassing. Turn those taxi lights off. Let's go. We're just a big floating embarrassment up here. So we're actually getting blown off of our planned course. Let's stick to that a little more heavily, because it looks like ahead of us there may be a craft. I wonder if we can see them. Sure, they're probably going to be flying in extreme altitude, probably like thousands of feet. We're just puttering along at a nice 2,600 feet here. We want to keep losing altitude a little at a time. Since it's cold up here, we'll give it a little bit of pitot heat just so we don't have any incidents. Looking good. The flaps are indeed up. It's also rather important. So it appears we've leveled off. Since we're sitting at 26,000, we want to drop the trim. Of course, as usual. We're still sitting too high. Let's lose some altitude. Let's make a big difference. Drop the trim by like 7 or 8 points. Any issues, we'll just tilt the nose up ever so slightly. So we're picking up speed, but we haven't hit the yellow, so there's nothing to worry about. We're still under 120 knots. And hey, look at that. We're making things happen. Go ahead and release the yoke here and see what the plane wants to do. You just feel it out. So it looks like we want to nose down quite heavily. Where's our trim sitting at? 0.1. Looks like we're dealing with a little bit of porpoising in the turbulence tonight. So at 21,000 feet, this is pretty much where we want to be sitting. 24,000 RPMs, ever so slightly too much engine power. We'll just tilt our nose up and keep piddling on along to our destination. Our destination is, as we've made the trip a couple times, Iowa City Municipal. The Eastern Iowa Airport, I believe, was ever so courteous to lend us this Cessna 172 Skyhawk. So we are eternally grateful. Of course, they did repossess our Piper, so we're waiting on the return of that. But hey, a return to the Cessna 152 is not the end of the world, quite honestly. Their ambitions, I have ambitions. But as it stands right now, we need to focus on the moment instead of the future. We're starting to lose altitude. We're below 2,000 feet, which we should not be. So let's go ahead and begin our climb, our ascent. We're going to go ahead and zoom in. So, we need to get the ATIS at Iowa City.
Approach Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner 1800.
Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. Approach. Altimeter tree 028. Radar contact. Continue.
3028. Thank you, good sir. Good enough for me. So we're going to use this to go ahead and call in our landing. To KIOW, Kilo Indigo Oscar Whiskey, Iowa City Municipal. We actually do need to get the ATIS so that we can determine our runway. Oh my goodness. I'm tuned in to 122.8. Let's try again on comms too. Oh, this is horrible. Well, we can always just...
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey Automated Weather Observation, 0400 Zulu. Wind 021 at 4. Visibility 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 6,600, few clouds at 14,000. Temperature 0°C, dew point, -1°C, altimeter tree 028.
Alright, that means we want to be going... Let's go runway 30.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. 2 miles southwest, 1600 inbound to land, runway tree 0. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Runway tree 0 is a good one. I'm sure it is. I believe. It's not. We picked a bad one. It also looks like there's some chaos going on outside of the cabin. As long as we just tune it out, it really doesn't matter. There's only so many options for what it could have been, right? Please just let us zoom in, friend. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and assume. You know what they say when you assume. Close the comms. What are we at? 1,300. So ground level here is about 900. So we're about 400 or 500 feet above the ground. We need to go ahead and see where we at. Please just get out of here. Alright, let's go. Let's go.
500.
500. We are at 500. Where is our plane, man? There we go. Let's get eyes on the thing. Hey, we have a friend out there. Happy Duckling 02 in a P-51 Mustang. He's 60 miles out. He's flying at about 2,000 feet. Always good to see other people on the game. So, our approach is to the left. Do we have eyes on the runway? I absolutely believe I do. Those blue lights. Here they are. Coming on up. So let's zoom in. We're going to be approaching on the long runway. You know, while we're up here, let's just go ahead and change. Let's request runway 07. I really don't want to land on this runway if at all possible. Let's just take runway 7, man.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. 2 miles southwest, 1200 inbound to land, runway 7. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
So we're going to go and hop on a right downwind here. We're going to cut the throttles. Adjust the trim so our nose is facing up. This is where we're going to begin losing altitude. So my issue is I always don't want to stay on this downwind long enough, but we need to go ahead and stay on the downwind. Let's announce our position.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is on downwind. Runway 7, Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
We're going to cut the throttle even more. We want to introduce the first degree of flaps. We're going to turn to base now.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is on base. Runway 7, Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Give it some more flaps. And we'll keep on turning in. We want full flaps. Tilt that trim on up. Hey, we're on final now. Let's announce it.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is on final. Runway 7 to land. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Now that there was a solid approach. Let's turn on our landing lights. So the lights say we're coming in hot. We're going to go ahead and trust them. Let's lean on over the nose here. We'll give it a degree of rudder. Tilt the nose on up.
Stall.
Here we come.
Stall.
So we'll relax. Let's go ahead and contact. Oh goodness. Hit the brakes a little bit. Just so we're not coming in so hot. Now we'll go ahead and contact ground.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to parking. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Got a little too caught up in the comms. Happens to the best of us. Let's see, where is parking in the first place? Technically, we're clear of runway. So, we're actually just gonna hop right back on this runway that we just landed on and ride it all the way down, it looks like. Again, let's get clearance. We're gonna taxi to parking.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to parking.
That means we
Kilo
want to turn
India
on the
Oscar
taxi
Whiskey.
lights. Alright, yeah, let's do it. We'll give it a little bit of throttle now. We'll lean back. And like I said, we're actually going to get right back onto this runway. Look both ways, look to the left. Look here crosswise. Henry Duckling, he's way out there. Look to the left. We're going to remove parking brake and let's go. Cut that throttle so we're not going so incredibly fast. We've been cleared to parking. Nice, so back on the center line. We want to get off of this runway. We're just making fools of ourselves here. So we're going to slow down. Our nose is actually tilting up. At the next right turn, we're going to go ahead and take a turn and get off of this runway. Looks like that is right up here. Nice, here's a yellow line for us to hook onto. So where we want to cut the throttle. At the hold short point, we're going to announce clear of runway.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is clear of the runway. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Looking good. We're actually going to turn off our landing lights. Those are making it harder to taxi. Nice, looks like here's our man to the left. That's where we're gonna switch off to the Cessna. So let's give it a little more throttle. What I like to do here near the end is actually give it a bit of throttle and then cut the propellers. It's just enough to get us where we want to go. You know, we came up a little short, but ain't that the story of life? So let's go ahead and clear this warning so we aren't getting our ear dinged on off. Nice. First and foremost, we need to cut that throttle. Yeah, we need to cut it all the way. We also need to cut the fuel. We need to leave this in good state for them because they let us borrow it. The mixture is out and cut. The lights will be turned off. We need to turn the pitot heat off. Of course, the master avionics switches are getting turned off. Alternator and battery as well as magnetos. Of course, we would take the key and hand it over, I'm sure. Hey, that's how we're going to leave it. That's our iPad, so that's coming with us. Let's get on out of here. We're going to switch on over to the plane that was dropped on and over here for us. The Cessna 182, our personal Cessna. And make the return flight home. There's going to be no time in between. This is just a delivery. The Aviation Cessna 152, Golf Tango Tango. That's our plane right there in the hangar. Delivered to us at the ramp. Thank you so very much, Iowa City Municipal. Looks like we got some friends nearby, sitting on their invisible boatmobile. Hello. It's the co-pilot from our previous flight. Would you like to join, ma'am? I wonder, she's more than welcome to. She is more than welcome to, let me tell you. Hell of a co-pilot. We'll go ahead and do the pre-flight just to be sure, because this is our personal plane, and we just want to... We're not going to go so far as to do the checklist, you know, we're not like a professional like that, but... Engine covers. We don't deal with engine covers on this bad boy. It's a very loud forklift. I was starting to fear for my immediate safety. So the ailerons are looking good. Flaps looking great. The rudder on the 152, you do give a little wiggle. Once, twice, 3 times is too much. Just enough to inspect. It's doing good. Same thing, the flaps look great, they look grand. Ailerons look fine. The tires and the struts look, I think they look fantastic. Let's go ahead and get inside. It's freezing out here. The pitot heat cover has been removed. We're good to go. Alright, so we're definitely going to need to call the tug. Hello, tug. First and foremost, for the tug to work, you have to remove that parking brake. Ah, my good friend Will, 793. Would you judo chop your co-pilot if they refuse to follow your captain's orders? You know I would, immediately, at any second of disobeyment. They would be getting judo chopped. I don't need them. As you can see, she's not here right now. She's over here in her invisible boatmobile. Thank you, Will. I agree. That is quite real, isn't it? Yeah, there's only room for one captain on Snoot Airlines here, but we do welcome co-pilots as long as they're willing to do their co-pilot duties. So, hey, let's get the boot up sequence taken care of. We're actually, before we get the thing going, we're going to turn our avionics on. Turn our radio on over here, our transponder. Let's turn this on. Set it to on. There we go. Our transponder is now on. We're going to be contacting ground services. We're going to be contacting ground services. Let's tune into, here we go. We'll tune into traffic. We're going to be requesting, well, I don't think we need fuel, do we? We have enough fuel to make the flight. We're going to be requesting pushback.
Traffic Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner, requesting pushback.
That's
Snoot
this.
Kilo Hotel, Niner Tree Niner. Pushback request accepted.
That's this little robot thing right here. Then we're just going to look behind us to be sure that he doesn't push us back off of the runway. Alright, we need to remove our parking brake so he can push us. Here we go. He's giving us a little push. Let's go, man. Hopefully, we're able to pick up our co-pilot. No? She doesn't want to get in. She's sitting out there in the cold. Alright, hey. Thanks for the pushback. So, what time is it currently? 10:36. Let's get the ATIS. Tune into comms 1. What is the ATIS?
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey Automated Weather Observation.
Altimeter 3028.
Wind 021 at 4. Visibility Niner. Sky condition. Few clouds at 10,000. 100 few clouds at 14,000. Temperature 0 C. Dew point -2 C. Altimeter tree 028.
Wind out of 021 means we want to select a runway near 21. How about runway 7? We had so much luck with it. Let's just use it again.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo
So,
Hotel
let's get
Niner
our
Tree
lights
Niner
turned
is
on.
taxiing to runway 7. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
Nav lights, for sure. Strobe lights, turn those on. Beacons. Taxi lights. We'll save the landing lights for later. We're trimmed up. Our flaps are up. We're actually going to use 10 degrees of flaps here. We're ready. Let's go. We've been taxi cleared. So to take off on runway 7, we are just going to... Oh, we're actually good. We're just going to take a left and then take a right. Let's go, man. Cleared to go. Let's go. Shout clear prop so nobody gets in the way. Give it a little bit of mixture. Give it some throttle. How's our fuel lock? The fuel valve is open. We don't need to prime it. This thing was just flowing earlier today. Good to go. And already we are going. Look at that. So let's ride on the brake a little bit. We don't want to catch fines. 5 knots or less when near other aircraft. Which means we need to pull back on the RPMs immediately. Let's get to the center line here. Might get inspected. Reel back that throttle as we take another right turn. You also want to be taking turns at 5 knots. Look at that. Season's greetings, everyone. Snoot City is sort of Catholic and Christian build, so Merry Christmas to all the friends who celebrate. Happy holidays to everyone who doesn't. Snoot's inclusive. But yeah, I absolutely love the decorations. It's nice that even airports get feeling festive, you know? It just looks cool when they get in the spirit and put up decorations like these lights. So I'm going to go ahead and have the captain smoke real quick before we take launch of our personal vessel. You are in here on a personal flight with me, Captain Snoot. This one's off hours. This is not a Snoot Airlines flight. This is just, you're in here with Big Snoot. Hopefully we have success. Hey, Will79, I'm gonna smoke a bowl too, Captain. Yep, the no smoking sign is not triggered. Cheers to that. So, we're on the runway now. We're gonna cut the throttles just so we don't get too crazy here. Look at that, there they are, the green and red lights. See, I told you they were feeling festive. Happy holidays. So, let's line up our rudders, cut our throttles. Drop that parking brake. The time is 10:41. Let's eye a 10:45 launch. It's not out of the picture. Serve up some water. Have some sodas or some tea. This morning I actually had a hot cocoa and it was so hot that it burnt my mouth. Actually recovering from that. Had a bit of a cough all day. Had a burnt tongue. Absolutely awful. So, yeah. Going to sip a bit of 7-Up. Have a bit of water. And then we'll get to takeoff here at 10:45. Let's take a look at the instruments. Refreshing. This video is not sponsored by 7-Up cherry flavor specifically. Cherry 7-Up flavored soda made with other natural flavors, other natural and delicious flavors. So, yeah, alright, 10:42, let's go ahead and quit hogging space on the runway. We're going to head and prepare for a southern departure.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. Taking off runway 7, south departure. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
This is going to be a VFR flight. However, we're going to set up our runway before we land, regardless of the wind. Well, I suppose we'll have to zoom in when we get a little closer. We've been cleared for takeoff, so without further ado, it's time for takeoff. Give it a little bit of throttle. Remove the parking brake. We have 10 degrees of flaps. We need to control our rudder so that we don't get blown off course. Let's hold the yoke so that our ailerons are feeling the wind. Back here to the center. Let's give it more throttle. We need to go ahead and get online so that we can achieve speed. 55 degrees, 55 knots is rotation, which we have just achieved. Let's go ahead and stay here in ground effect. We'll build up speed until we hit those red lights, at which point we will go ahead and achieve a more positive rate. Of course, we are going to go ahead and tilt our nose up at about a 10-degree angle here, just to be sure we can clear these trees. As we do that, we're going to lift our flaps.
Approach Snoot Kilo Hotel 939, approach 152, 1 miles west of Kilo India Oscar Whiskey 900. Request flight following.
Snoot Kilo Hotel 939, radar contact, 1 miles west of Kilo India Oscar Whiskey 1000. Altimeter 3028.
Roger, Snoot Kilo Hotel 939.
There's our friend over there. Happy Duckling 02 in the P-51 Mustang, flying at about, only at about 1,000 feet. He may be doing an aviation show or something. Let's go ahead and set our heading here, recentering on the craft. We can see that this is going to be a correct heading, an eastward approach. And as we're gaining, we can go ahead and wheeze off the throttle a little bit. In the Cessna 152, we'd like to take this cruising altitude at about 18,000 to 2,000, 2,200 feet. Wheeze off the juice a little more. Feeling good. Cracking up, so to speak. Alright, we're going to drop the trim a little bit. Just a couple degrees. What is our throttle at? 66. What are our RPMs? The RPMs look fantastic. We don't want to mess with them. We're going to adjust back to an eastern direction here. We're going to go ahead and get VFR contact of the highway, which we're using to navigate. It looks like up ahead should be the Riverside Casino, Riverside, and the Riverside gas stations, along with down here at the town of Kelowna. We can't see it. Washington, Iowa should be in this direction. If not, that blob over there. So we're actually gaining a bit of altitude, and it is also a bit foggy and misty. So we know that it's freezing. We're going to go ahead and just get it out of the way and turn this pitot heat on. That way our altimeter doesn't screw up and kill everybody on board. You're sitting in the co-pilot with me tonight, my friends, except for everyone else who's sitting in the back. Thanks for flying with Snoot Air on a more personal venture. So let's adjust our altimeter here, or our compass rather. We keep getting blown to the left when we need to go more eastward, more squidward, if you will. So let's adjust the trim. We'll drop the trim. RPMs look fantastic. There it is. We can now see the Washington, Iowa airport. As we are just passing Riverside, we're going to go ahead and call them up. Washington Municipal, KAWG. Let's tune to the ATIS. I said, let's tune to the ATIS. Let's tune to the ATIS.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf automated weather observation 0400 Zulu. Wind 021 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition 6,600 scattered 14, 100 scattered. Temperature 0C. Dew point 0C. Altimeter 3025.
3025, wind out of 021, which means that needs to be our tail. Oh, 2, that needs to be the tail. We need to be landing at 21, 24, 25. What are our options? Runway 36, trusty runway 36.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner. 17 miles north, 2700 inbound to land, runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
My goodness, would you look at this? We're in a sticky situation. This is the most planes in one area I have ever been flying in. It is rather busy. No surprise, because it is holiday season. But we do need to be extremely careful, as it looks like there is a craft likely flying above us as we speak. We also have, it looks like, friends out here. Luke 06, 100 nautical miles out. We have our friend Happy Duckling. Look at that, Happy Duckling. He looks like he may be on a path to intercept us. Hopefully not in his P-51 Mustang. He has managed to cover quite a bit of ground on us. He was way over there. We also have another friend out here, Luis Jr. DX, flying the Airbus A320 100 miles out. Shout out to anybody who flies the Airbus, my respect. As well as anybody who flies the P-51 Mustang. Nervous on his intent if he's going to try to buzz us. I have fun with the roleplay, so hopefully he does not come in guns blazing. Our goal is to attempt to get to our town before he intercepts. Of course, he is flying at 20,000 feet, and we're only flying at about, give or take, 3. And since we're gaining altitude, we do need to adjust. So, we're cleared to land on runway 36. Oh, it won't let me zoom in. Come on, work with me now. Might need to give it up for a second. You're starting to get blown off course here. Let's go ahead and focus on the plane. We'll just adjust our heading real quick. Adjust that trim because we do not want nor need to go over 3,000 feet. He is doing absolutely insane acrobatics. If you've seen, he just lost 10,000 feet in mere seconds. That guy is certainly some kind of fighter pilot. Which makes me all the more nervous. He's closing the distance on us rapidly. Let's go ahead and adjust our heading, just so we don't have to worry. Again, we're at 3,000 feet. We do not want to drop our mixture. Let's go ahead and stay below 3,000 feet by dropping our altimeter. Out of sight, out of mind. We'll drop the trim. Drop the trim. Drop the trim. 0.4 is good enough to set us back on a trajectory. If it weren't so cloudy, we should be able to see our friend out there in the night sky, Happy Duckling, who is now 30 miles out. He should be about the distance from us to Washington over twice. So if you could see the distance of that town out there, that's about how far he should be theoretically out that way. We really should be able to see him. So, what is our altimeter sitting at? We do need to go ahead and get this landing circumstance situation under control. Runway 36. Is this runway 36? Gosh, I hope so. That's what our cleared for landing is. Yeah, we're actually just going to come in on a straight up approach for this one. Why not? runway tree 6 is the one that is in line with us, the large runway. So as long as we can get on and maintain a heading, we should have no problem just approaching and landing at our airport, which has no tower to scold us. We can also go ahead and look at our EBT, EBR, RPI. It looks like there is many aircraft in the area that we will have to worry about. How exciting. What a busy day to go flying. There she is! Our co-pilot! As you can see, she's been joining us, giving us the cold shoulder, as you will, flying out here on the outside of the plane at about, we're at about 2,300, 400 feet. It is definitely freezing out there, without a doubt, so hope she's doing okay. I really wish she would have chosen to have joined us, but she made her decision. It's what happens to the co-pilots when they don't obey. Viewers get to sit alongside me. Bad co-pilots get drug along beside. So let's go ahead and forget about the co-pilot, because this is a one-man production right now. We're going to go ahead and actually start slowing things down. It looks like we're approaching KAWG. We're going to skip base. We're going to skip downwind. We're going to just straight up come in on final approach. That's what it's all about here at Snoot. When we're off the clock, we don't care. I'm trying to get home. We're returning this here Cessna 152, which was brought up to Iowa City by my brother earlier. Because we just returned the 172 that, of course, we borrowed from Iowa City Municipal. And as we're waiting on currently, our Dakota Piper has been repossessed. So we no longer have access to the Dakota Piper. An exciting new craft that really I was quite excited about, but bigger things are in store, I'm sure. It won't be Cessna flights forever. So let's go ahead and adjust. We're just, like I said, we're just going to get straight on to final approach here at this runway. We're going to drop down to pattern altitude at 1,800 feet by cutting the throttle even more. And we're actually going to announce we are on final approach, even though we are so far out.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is on final. Runway tree 6 to land. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
So, now that we're beginning our landing, let's turn on our landing lights. The landing lights are turned on. Taxi lights are off. Embarrassing. Okay, let's lean on over and size up our targets. Those are the lights right there. Those are the lights that are going to tell us if we live or die. Let's go ahead and cut our throttles because we need a certain degree of flaps, at least one. Of course, we're going to trim our nose up so that we don't have to battle this out with our yoke. We're going to actually go ahead and adjust to the left. If you look, it looks like we're certainly crabbing just a little bit. It would say that we're not, so we're going to trust our instruments. Cut that throttle even more, introduce a second degree of flaps. We are ready to go full idle here. Let's introduce full flaps give it a little bit of throttle. You don't ever want to go full idle. We can go ahead and bleed off some of the speed by go ahead and just nose upping. Again, just enough so that we don't hear the stall horn. Cut the throttle, cut the throttle. We have full mixture, very important. We have announced ourselves. We have lights, we have seat belts buckled in. So, the ground is at about 750. That means we are currently at about 500. As we get closer, we are slowly pulling back on that throttle. The lights say we're coming in hot. Pull back on the throttle even more. Nose down just a little bit. 100. 50. 25. 10. Here we go. The lights say to nose up. There's that stall horn. Go ahead and let's cut our throttles now that we made it back home. And as soon as we can, we just want to go ahead and cuff a massive U-ey on this here runway. Big one. Full rudders to the left here. How close did our friend get? He got very close. He might be trying to catch us at the airfield. He is within 8 nautical miles of us. Let's see if we can make it to the hangars before he's able to buzz us. We need to get clearance. Taxi to Parkway.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to parking. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Just to make ourselves less obvious to these threats, we're going to actually go ahead and turn off our landing and runway lights, our beacons and everything. We're going to be doing a slow speed dark taxi just to not get caught by that fella in his P-51. We'll turn off our pitot heat. Get back on the runway now, don't be shy. Glance out the window. How far away is he? Sitting a solid 7 nautical miles out and coming close. That's the distance from Washington, Iowa to Ainsworth. So he definitely can see. He might not be able to see us on the runway, but he definitely can see. So let's zoom in. We need to get to the hangar as fast as possible. With no lights, of course. This is a civilian time effort. We are being pursued by an unknown threat. Look both ways, just so we don't get cream of the cropped. Good. So we're going to go ahead and ride this runway. Get ready to announce the clear of runway, of course. As soon as we actually are clear of runway. You can see Washington, Iowa up there. There's the track. Which means Walmart should be out here somewhere. Alright, we are finally clear of runway. Let's announce it.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is clear of the runway. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
At the hold short, announce the taxi to the parking.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to parking. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
7 miles out. I wonder if he's just pittering around up there. He's surveillancing, reconnaissancing. The paranoia makes fools of mighty men. That looks really nice, the way the hangars are all lit up with the lights. So we're going to go ahead and get a little closer to this truck here. We have the fantastic speed for taxiing. But we're actually going to go ahead and cut our propellers. This here truck is making me a bit nervous. Everything all right there, lads? So we're gonna need to start the engine back up. How embarrassing. We cut our propeller. Clear prop. Shout it out so they don't get their heads chopped off. Give it some real quick full throttle, just enough to, and then cut it. Just be sure we don't absolutely cream one of these others. This must be our truck. Let's see, how far can we go? Good enough for me. Drop that parking brake. A roughly, toughly learned lesson. Alright, everybody gather your things from the back. Any beverages, go ahead and just throw them away there. I hope you enjoyed the Captain Snoot Hour Snoot flights. I wasn't supposed to tell you, but Snoot Airlines has been attempting to acquire a new turboprop. They're in negotiations, so hopefully that doesn't fall through. Quite excited. We haven't flown any turboprops yet, only these single piston engine flights. So, how exciting. We actually, we just lost our Piper, so how grand to possibly get that replaced. Here's hoping. We'll go ahead and our lights are already turned off. Go ahead and turn the cabin lighting back off. The mixture is already cut. We need to cut that throttle. We never worried about carb heat nor cabin heat, even though it is freezing. That cabin heat would have been nice. Parking brake is set. We'll go ahead and flip the alternator. Get the battery as well. Turn off the magnetos. Strobe, strobe, strobe. Turn on our flashlight real quick. Looks awful bright in here still, doesn't it? Well, I suppose that's it for everything. Oh, not everything. We need to turn the fuel pump off. Fuel valve off. We'll take our keys with us. We don't want anybody driving this 150 without us. Yeah, let's go on and get out of here. Here we go. Our poor co-pilot. Hopefully we can release you from your eternal struggle. She looks like she's doing okay. You alright, miss? She doesn't want to talk right now. I'm just going to respect her space. Here's our friend. Happy Duckling, still 7 miles out in the P-51. I wonder what kind of assault tactics he is doing. Ah, what the hell. While we're here, we'll go ahead and we'll go into the hangar. I'll show you what we're cooking up. We'll go ahead and attempt to fly a circuit. We'll attempt to fly a circuit. We still got a little bit of time if anyone wants to watch the snootster. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the hangar here. We're going into the hangar. You can see we actually picked up this glorious, oh, how embarrassing. We're just walking past the Cessna again. We just picked up this glorious PC-12, the Pilatus. We'll go ahead and have it VIP loaded, because you know how it is for Snoots viewers. Livery, we quite like that livery. It looks very nice. The fuel's looking good. Golf Tango Tango as usual. Kilo Hotel, Niner. Let's just go Niner Niner. We don't need that tree in there, do we? Kilo Hotel, Niner Niner. This is kind of a heavy craft, isn't it? It's a big boy. Not a real heavy, but makes me feel good about myself to hear him call me that. Let's see if we can't fly a nice circuit with one. From the free flight mode. Let's go. Zooming on into Washington Municipal. Have them wheel it out for us. We're just gonna fly now with no flight plan. My only gripe about this thing, it's an amazing plane, is I really just wish it had some analog controls instead of the fantastic futuristic computers that it has. Let's see if we're able to get it going, shall we? Here is the Pilatus Air Ambulance. And what a thing it is, isn't it? Massive plane, especially from flying Cessnas. Massive mammoth thing. So first off, we do need to change our controls. New plane, new set of controls. I really hope we can go ahead and get this pitot tube out of the way. It's obvious that that's a pitot tube and we need to remove that cover, but I don't think the game understands that. There we go. I think it just did it for us. So, we'll go ahead and wiggle these ailerons. They look fantastic. The flaps look good. How does the baggage compartment look? Look at these adorable little tail fin rudders. We have external power to boot it up externally. So this isn't a wiggle rudder, this is a big boy. We will go ahead and view this elevator up here. Massive mammoth elevator. That elevator and rudder is larger than my entire Cessna. Right flaps. Left flaps. Let's go. What a massive, what a fantastic, beautiful mammoth plane. What an ice age. The tires look good. They smell so good. They smell like lavender. And how's the tire up front? It's fantastic. The propellers are all good to go. 5 propellers too. How about that? So let's go ahead and prepare the door. We'll go ahead and anybody who wants to go for a flight. We're just going for a short one here around the airfield. We'll go ahead and board on up. If any of y'all want to join, come on in. Get in with the snootster. Get in. Feel free. The VIP deck is back here. Thanks for boarding and loading. This one's on the house. This is for Snoot Airlines VIP. Nice, let's get in. Hey, here she is. She decided to get on in with us. So, let's see if we can get this booted up, shall we? How embarrassing. We're definitely going to have to consult the checklist on this one. Well, we already completed the external checklist, so let's see. Where's the avionics master? A lot of the things are up here. Be a lot easier if we had this. So, avionics master. Let's get real close and zoom on in, see what we're looking at here. Well, I hope it's up top. Maybe we should leave ignition on auto. It is obvious that it is not up here, but we'll go ahead and turn the lights on while we are up here. The no smoking lights, we're not going to turn that on, but we'll turn seatbelts on. Bing bong, turn on the battery. Let's go ahead and turn on the alternator. Hey, we actually got it started. Look at that. Can you believe it? Do we have lights on in the back? No, sir, we do not. It is dark back there. Let's take a look back up here. See what we're dealing with. Passenger warning. Seatbelts on. Yes. Taxi lights on. So we have two batteries here. We're going to turn them both on. Two alternators. We're going to turn them both on. There's the avionics master. We actually found it. Let's go. We'll turn this one on as well. Avionics master 1 and 2 on. The lights are still off, unfortunately, so all the passengers hate to leave you in the dark, but we're leaving you in the dark back there in the VIP section. Hope you enjoy this night-themed flight for an extra $30. Let's go ahead and request our taxi. We need to get this fella out of the way. He's in for a very bad time because this is a massive mammoth aircraft. We actually need to get a tug. We could all use a tug, couldn't we? We can't request one either. So let's just go ahead and... What runway are we going to be using to take off with? The biggest, longest one, of course. That is going to be runway tree 6. We're also going to be landing on runway tree 6. Let's announce the taxi because we are about to taxi. Just for a quick little circuit, a pattern or two around Washington, Iowa Municipal to try out the new craft, to show it off.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is taxiing to runway tree 6. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
So, let's be honest. I think we can all agree that we would have told this fella to get out of the way, right? There's no way that he's just gonna stand there. 'Cause, brother, this fella's gonna be a problem. And I don't know if he's gonna make it. Let's remove our parking brake and see what happens. This also has a 2-in-1 throttle. So, we'll just go ahead and wheeze onto the throttle ever so slightly. It's happening. You better move, my friend. This is an awful lot of airplane. So I believe our parking brake is still set. There we go. Please, I'm begging you. Clear prop, clear prop, clear prop. Come on, lady. Come on. Oh no. Ah. Shout outs to the lady. If you don't look, it doesn't happen, right? If you don't look, it doesn't happen. Pilot's therapy is going to be free. I'm hoping. Comes with the job. Let's slow things down real quick. We need to get out where we are. I'm absolutely frazzled since taking my first human life in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Can you all see her out the back out there? I don't know. Shh. Forget about it. Let's just go. We'll go around the fuel box to the right. Around the fuel box to the right. We just don't want to slam into the fuel box, right? The key to doing that is to get to the yellow line over here. Nice, dude. Everything is fine. Let's reel back the throttle a little bit more. This thing has a lot of power. It is absolutely snooting around. That is the only way I can describe this craft. It is a snooter. Cut the throttle. Ride that line. Here we go. We've been cleared. We've been cleared. It really does not like giving up the power. Once it drops that power, it's going to go back on you. Drop down the power. Snoot over here to the left. Root it out like a little pig searching for some truffles. There's our launch, and we need to level up as soon as possible, because this thing does not play around. This ain't no joke. I'm not joking. I'm not laughing. We need every bit of this runway possible. And to do that, we need to level out our rudders. Whew. Let's release the parking brake and get heavy on the throttle.
No takeoff.
Here we go. Remain in the pattern. Get back on the runway.
Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 999er heavy. Taking off runway 36. Left closed traffic. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Here we go. Full throttle. We're at 100 knots. Time 2 nose up.
No takeoff.
We're fine. Lift the flaps. We just lifted the landing gear. We're gonna ascend to 1,800 feet. Adjust the trim. Pull back the throttle. We are going to keep ascending. So right now we need to go from where we are currently at 1,800.
Envelope.
We are turning way too harshly though. We'll cut that throttle. What is the throttle sitting at? It's a very powerful throttle. telling you, we only got to go to like 55. So without meaning to, we're already climbing up to almost 3,000 feet. We don't want to get so high and crazy, high and mighty, so brazy. So we just hit crosswind. We're gonna go ahead and dip now. Let's lean on that throttle. We're slowed down. We're looking good. Adjust the trim so that we're nosing down. Out left, we should see the runway. It's the one that's lit up. That's going to be our go. So it's time to start bleeding off a little bit of altitude. We need to give a little bit of throttle though. Here to the left, we are currently on the downwind. We'll adjust it by giving it a little bit of trim so we can tell them. Downwind.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on downwind. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
So we'll go ahead and announce next when we are on final. So we need to start bleeding off altitude. 3,200 feet. The ground is at 800 feet. Give or take, we are at 2,000 feet above. So it is time to start reeling back the throttle. Turn in. So 2,800. We're doing good. We're setting up final approach. We're going to contact and tell them final approach.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic.
We're losing
Kilo
altitude.
Hotel 909er Heavy is on final. Runway 36. Touch and go left traffic. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Oh, I don't want to touch and go. So we are way too high. We're definitely not going to make this. We're actually going to announce a fly around. How embarrassing. It's really easy to stay connected to the yoke when you think you're... So we're going to announce a go around.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy going around. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Our goal is to do one big sweep of this airport and come in on a nice final direct approach. By the time we come in on this direct approach, we should be sitting at no more than 1,500 feet. We are currently at 2,500 feet, so our goal is to bleed off about 1,000 feet. This is such a powerful craft that taking it on such a short distance is something like to Iowa City is almost not worth it. This is going to be the big craft that we take when we go to, say, Des Moines or even further like Omaha. We do interstate flights or even over the ocean perhaps someday. So let's get eyes on the airport. I actually don't see it. It says we need to adjust northerly though. So we'll reel back the throttle ever so slightly more. There it is. 2,200. We're losing altitude, but nothing we can't handle. We want to go ahead and keep it in our eye line, if at all possible. 10-degree turn at the most. So we are actually beginning to lose altitude here a bit faster than we planned. 1,500 is where we want to level off here. So we're on a very wide downwind here. Again, nose up just a little here. We're going to announce our position.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy, 4 miles east, 1400 inbound touch and go left traffic, runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Again, I have no interest in a touch and go. Let's do runway 36. Get cleared for a landing. So I'm trying to get down on the ground. This thing is a monster and it's running away with me.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy, 4 miles northeast, 1600 inbound touch and go left traffic, runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
AI Copilot, that's the wrong call, friend. We want to go runway 36 full stop landing for Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on final. Runway 36. Touch and go left traffic. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Well, who cares if we're cleared or not? We need to get down off of this runway. Turning back to KAWG. 10-degree turn. There we go. So we'll go ahead and cut throttle because we can see our approach. There it is. Just reel back on that throttle because we don't need it. That's the idle. So we'll just watch our speed here. We're going to be gaining.
Speed.
So we need to lift our flaps because we're going way too fast for flaps.
Speed.
Again, it's obvious we're coming in just too hot here. We need to be above 2,200. That's my mistake. Let's just do a wide loping left. Bleed off 1,000 feet. We'll reset this warning. It really is a lot of plane. There's a reason I'm not flying it yet. Let me tell you that. What do we have going on? Our RPMs are a little too crazy. We need to wheeze off that throttle if at all possible. Or nose up. We're still at 2,500. It's very stressful on the airplane. It doesn't like it. We're actually gaining altitude, so nose down a little bit. We're trying to get onto the ground. How awful if we just died fucking around in the new Pilatus Air Ambulance. Getting nervous. I'm like a horse over here. I need my peppermints. So I can't see the municipal airport. Should be out our right window. Do we see it? There's Washington. There it is. Let's go ahead and, what are we at? 2,000 feet.
Envelope.
Cut that throttle. Pitch the nose down. Take the L and let's go in for the landing. Powerful plane over Washington, Iowa. Can we get some semblance of flaps?
Envelope.
Full throttle cut.
Speed.
We are definitely going way too fast for flaps. One more pass. That's what they call me. They call me one more pass. We're not going to make it. We're just too high up. I'm going to live up to the namesake of Golf Tango Tango here and just fly directly over the airfield. That's a new warning. I've not heard that one yet. Ground proximity. The ground is within 800 feet, so we are now 300 feet above, which means we need to fully pull power. What is our power at, man? Negative 15. I was going to say, we probably do need to eventually apply a negative throttle here. It's actually what we're going to attempt on our next pass. We have it quick mapped to apply negative throttle. So we are now on a large, long downwind. There's our destination. Is that the ground proximity?
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy. 3 miles northeast. 1700 inbound touch and go left traffic runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
The thing about a plane like this is it definitely wants to stay in the air. It does not want to go down. I could sit here and fly this thing all day long. I just don't know if I can land it. We're really going to give ourselves some space. Work things out. Here we go. 1,500. Tip the nose up. There's our runway. We are now approaching final. We're applying negative throttle. Let's see if we can work with it here. So we actually need to work with this thing if we want to have a good landing.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base.
Oh,
runway
I'm not on base.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
So I needed
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf
flaps.
traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway
Here we
36.
go. Good
Kilo
luck,
Alpha Whiskey
fellows.
Golf. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is on base. Runway 36. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Will we survive?
No takeoff.
Let's see.
No takeoff.
Into the shit. Are we gonna flip it? Saved. Saved from the brink of destruction. So, just don't tell my boss that we slipped in after hours and tried out the new plane. We haven't had a class on it or anything yet. We're just gonna go ahead and taxi this bad boy back home, just so no one has to worry about it. It's really nice. I would love to learn how to pilot this thing. Handles nice. It's a large craft. Looks really nice from the outside. Sounds nice. Let's cut that throttle. We don't need to be going so insanium. Let's just slow our roll because we're getting low. The conditions are absolutely inclement out here. There's landing lights. We have the taxi lights on. Means we need to cut the throttle. I'll go right. Oh, we overshot once more. No worries. Straight back to the runway.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Kilo Hotel 909er Heavy is clear of the runway. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
If we had a tower, they would be angry as hell because we were not cleared for landing, but choosing life is a lot more important than clearance to land, some would say.
No takeoff. No takeoff.
Yes, I'm not trying to take off. I'm not trying to take off. We did it. We got a wrangle on things. So let's turn this beast on off. We'll turn off the seatbelts button so everybody can unbutton their seatbelts. We'll go ahead and turn on the no smoking. If you were going to smoke, you would have done it by now. Of course, turn off these avionics switches. We don't need them. There we go. Turn the batteries off. Turn the switches off. Fuel pumps are off. These are all a bunch of lights. I ought to turn them off too. Who needs them? We don't need them. Not where we're going. So, yeah, that's everything turned off in the cabin. We'll put the yoke back so the next guy has a yoke to drive with. Parking brake is on. So you just reach back here to open the door. We did it. We survived the Pilatus air ambulance experience. It's obvious that we're not quite experienced enough to take this thing out to own this puppy, but hey, it might be in the near future. Currently, as things stand, we are sent back to the Cessna 152 era. This is not our Cessna. This is a Cessna 152 Acrobat. But we indeed are here again. What do you call it? Microsoft Flight Sim 24. It's looking pretty good. It's looking better than the last installment. I love this game. It's great. Just like the real thing. But yeah, like I said, we're back to the Cessna 152 for a while. We're going to be flying the 152 until we get access to our Piper, which was damaged at the Washington, Iowa airport. But we just repaired, or we replaced the borrowed 172. So again, hey buddy, give me a lift back to town, will ya? Here's our ride, I was going to say. One of these fellas. It's not that far back to town. It's about a mile that way, but it's freezing out here. Hey, buddy. Well, thanks for flying with me tonight, friends. We're going to be flying again tomorrow, even though I know Christmas is coming up, so happy holidays. Howdy, partner. Make sure to fly with Snoot again, if at all possible. Always happy to see ya. Have a great night, everybody. This has been Snoot City Avionics. Snoot out, I suppose.